right, Miles, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here for a little bit. So the Buccaneers are obviously one of the top flight contenders in the NFC and really all the NFL. Anytime you have a guy like Tom Brady and this whole talented roster behind it, you're going to be one of the top names going to the Super Bowl or picked to go to the Super Bowl. But the Buccaneers are fighting through a few injuries and some challenges right now. And they're trying to look at some young guys to step up. And there's one in particular that looks like he is. And I know you have the specifics there. But before we get into that, Buccaneers fans, look, it's exciting time. NFL season right around the corner. You know what else is right around the corner? College football season. Mize and I are big college football fans, and we know you guys are as well. So we want to hear from you. What's your favorite college football team? Is it USF? I know it's down there in Tampa. UCF and Orlando's not far behind. Is it the U, Florida State, Florida, something else all together? Let us know in the comment section below who your favorite college football team is. But Mize, what's the latest with the Buccaneers?
Yeah, Nick. So the Bucks, obviously, they come out of their first preseason game. There's a lot of young guys coming in, showing out. But one that really caught my eye, and he caught the eye of the Tampa Bay organization as well, is Rashad White. This is a guy, I believe he came out of Arizona State.
Yep.
He was been looking really good through training camp, but not only through training camp, he was the most productive player, I would even say, on the offensive side of the ball uh, during this game. Obviously, out of all of the running backs, he was the most productive. He had 7 carries for 32 yards, almost averaging 5 yards a carry. He had another couple catches for 13 yards. He had 88 all-purpose yards, all in all. He was pretty impressive in the preseason game to start things out, and the other running backs really weren't showing out as much. And unfortunately, Giovanni Bernard also came out a little banged up, and there's no telling how long it's going to take him to return from that. So, all that being said, I think White potentially, if he plays his card right, could work himself into that number 2 running back spot right behind Leonard Fournette. And, I don't think he overtakes Fournette, but I think he cuts himself out some really nice play time, especially as, like a third down pass catching back. He's already shown, because that's kind of what Bernard was in that offense. He was a big pass catching back. And I think White put on a pretty good performance early on in his first preseason performance.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head of being that third down, that pass catching back, which one we all know that's what Tom Brady loves. He's used that multiple times in his career. Obviously, go back to the Kevin Falk days and the James White days with the Patriots. Obviously, a Giovanni Bernard last year. That's what Brady loves, having that pass catching running back. He uses him to the extreme. And a guy like White fits that role perfectly. White caught 43 passes in 2021 playing for Arizona State. That's a lot, especially for the running back position in college. That's a really big sign, to your point, of him jumping in and filling that void that Bernard's going to miss. But I think a big part of White's kind of emergence here is his maturity. It's the fact that he's grown up. According to Fan Nation, this is what Jason Light had to say, the Bucs GM, about White. Quote, I would say Rashad White has done a fantastic job. He's got a very mature approach. Reminds me of Chris Godwin when he came in as a rookie, wanting to get all his ducks in a row before training camp so he could just focus on football. When you're a team like the Buccaneers that's in win now mode and you've got a quarterback in Tom Brady that at some point will retire for good, you'd like to think it eventually will happen. You need to have mature guys. You need to have grown-ups. You need to have guys that aren't going to be involved with stupid stuff. The Bucs had to put up with that a little bit last year at the end of the year with Antonio Brown. You got to get all of that out of the way. And you have a guy like here in Rachaad White that looks like he's playing well, handling all his things on the field. But the fact that he's a mature and grown-up off the field and is handling being a pro the right way, combining that with his physical skills and the role he could play in this offense, I'm really excited to see what Rachaad White will do, because he looks like he's fully geared to come in and replace Bernard and have a big role in this offense as that kind of third down back, maybe a true number 2 to Fournette.
Yeah, and I think, Nick, what you really need to say about Tom Brady is, please, Tom, please retire. We're all begging you. We
Eventually.
can't take it anymore. So, but yeah, no, White really, I think he can carve himself out a good sized niche in this offense. I think he's a very smooth runner. He kind of runs a little bit upright. He's patient. He uses his vision and explosiveness. He almost kind of reminds me like a little bit of like Le'Veon Bell or somebody like that,
Yeah.
where he's got that patient, vision based running style. He hits the hole when it opens up, and he has that explosive kick to him. It's still pretty early on in his progression, but I think we go into the next preseason games. White has definitely, in my opinion, moved himself up in the depth chart to that number 2 spot to show what he can do. And, I think especially coming in the camp a little bit bigger, Leonard Fournette, there's reports, he might have been like 260, something like that, but he seems to have it all intact now. So, but he could be spelled by a guy like White every so often. I think he's earned that so far. I think White has shown that he deserves to touch the ball a little bit in this offense. And like you said, Brady loves that pass catching running back. So I think he could prove to be a valuable weapon.
All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.